What's going on, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, aka Viper Magic, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Destiny Taken King live stream that aired on August 19th, 2015. Okay, so it's no surprise that Taken King is going to be coming out soon. It's no surprise that there's been a lot of leaks and discussions about it, and Bungie has finally taken the initiative, as they have done in the other expansions, to bring us a 3-part series on all cool things Taken King. So this week focused pretty much on the tower and just kind of the overall cosmetic changes to quests and to gear and to inventory and that sort of thing. And there's so much news to take in, and I tried my best to try to put everything in logical groups, but the reality is I probably missed something. So I'm going to post a link to their hour-long Twitch live stream in the comment box below. I highly encourage you guys to go watch it and see it straight from the source, because I'm going to be ad-libbing and injecting some of my own commentary, and I'm not going to go line for line because some of the stuff just doesn't interest me, but some of it I think is very positive changes in the game, and overall I was very pleased with what I saw. And typical to all other MMOs that I have played, primarily World of Warcraft, this is very common, par for the course, that the game will continue to improve and get smarter. So, big things that started right off the bat. You are now going to be, that light level thing still exists, but it's going to get more back into a traditional leveling system. The new level cap is level 40. Whatever light level you were in the game, most of us are already sitting at 34. We will begin the game at 34. Brand new characters would begin at level 1, and work their way up. Ghosts now have perks with them as well. They count towards your overall light level, which is a kind of cool thing. Intellect, discipline, and strength now actually have numerical values behind what it means, and it will actually show you a timer to say, hey, your grenade cooldowns will occur every 8 seconds or every 2 minutes, whatever it happens to be, depending on your particular statistics. So I like that a lot. So it's a lot more information to the player, and it's also a lot easier to decipher, because the reality is, up until now, intellect, strength, and discipline haven't really meant much of anything to anybody. You basically just put on the piece of gear that gave you a better light level, and off you went. Now there's actually going to be some incentive in actually understanding what those values do. So if you're really into grenades and you want to build some crazy grenade throwing build, you can actually start to see mathematically and on the screen, just ones and zeros, what your cooldowns are going to be and how different pieces of gear will actually affect your character and their cooldowns. So that's going to be really, really cool. I think that's going to be a lot easier for people to understand, because the whole light level thing on top of your existing character level is very confusing. I'm character level 20, but light level 34, so now I'm level 34. That's a thing of the past. So very positive change. I'm very, very excited for that. They showed off the bounty system and inventory tracking. You can now hold more bounties, which is really, really cool. You can turn in bounties on the field, so no longer do you have to go back to the tower. Now, they weren't clear where you get new bounties from. I still think you have to go back to the tower. And if that is true, I don't know if turning them in the field really makes a ton of difference, other than you could get that immediate satisfaction you're completed. If quests do continue out in the field, a la World of Warcraft, where you just continue on doing things and you complete something and do something else, where you don't have to keep running back to town and there's not as many fetch quests, I think that would be cool. They haven't talked about it, at least in this live stream. They may have mentioned it somewhere before and I missed it, but it seems like they're going in that direction. If they're going to be giving the ability to cash in quests on the field, I would suspect that new ones will be given immediately. The rewards are going to be clearly listed now on there, and they're treating it more like a traditional quest log in most games that you see. So you can actually mark certain things if you want them on your screen. You don't have to just keep bouncing back and forth between how you currently do it, pausing kind of the game, going over your bounties, scrolling down, seeing what you have to do. You can actually put them right on the screen, so you can sit there and watch your progress. And you can track up to, I think they said 4 or 6. I think 4 bounties you could actually track at any given time on your screen. So that's really, really cool if you want to know what your progress is. That's a smart move. If you're a new character to the game, they've added the Spark of Light, which is a new item that everyone will get that'll automatically boost you to character level 25. So you can just jump right in and play the new content with your friends. You don't have to worry about doing the old stuff. Now, I've mentioned before that I'm very curious to see how Nolan North's commentary as the new Nolan bot, or whatever we've decided to call him, the replacement to the Dinklebot. So I'm going to be starting from scratch, and I want to play through the whole story again. I want to be leveling a hunter. So I'm not going to be using this, but for people who are just want to jump right into the game, late bloomers to the whole Destiny world, this is a great idea. This is very clearly lifted from something that Warcraft did, where they basically give you a free character boost because they don't want you to have to go off and play the old stuff. If you want to jump in and play with your friends, this is the most accessible way to do it. Yeah, I'll be level 34, you'll be 25, but so what? We'll play together, it doesn't matter. So a great entry point to the series now because of this. No longer do you have to go through all the grueling stuff. You don't have to go earn grenades or specials or any of that crap anymore. You're just given all your stuff and off you go, and I love that. I think that's a really, really cool change. A lot of new perks that they showed off. They're bouncing a lot between some of the different vendors. One of the cool things that they're going to be doing is they're going to add these giant vaults. Not your regular vault that you see in terms of where's your gun and where's your whatever. But this is like a collection vault of here are all the emblems you've earned. Here are all the ships you've earned. Here are all the guns you've earned. Here are all the pieces of armor you've earned. Exotics, I'm talking on the weapons and armor. And I think that's really cool. It's a one-stop location of everything you've earned. No longer is it scattered all around. No longer are you just throwing things away because you don't have enough inventory on your person. So you're going to be able to have this giant catalog, and it's great for the completionists and all of us. You can see all the ones you've earned, all the ones you haven't earned. You can buy them, and they just get stored there. You can pull them out and use them when you want, throw them away, and then they go right back into this basic collection bin for you to get all your stuff. And I love that. Like I said, the collectionist and the completionist and me and all of us, I think, are very, very excited for this. Factions are going to be getting a big overhaul. You will pledge your allegiance to a faction weekly, which will allow you to earn reputation for the faction. My understanding is there will be specific quests that unlock with each faction, so there may be some really cool faction-specific quests that you do, and you'll earn reputation specific to that. And you could bounce around. My understanding is your old reputation carries over, so if you have some of that, great. I started playing with factions very late in the game. I didn't really care so much about it. I know people have sworn allegiance already, at least in their hearts, to a certain faction, but now that's now that there's going to be an incentive in terms of certain pieces of gear and certain rewards and quests are only going to be unlocked from certain things, I think you see a lot more people trying that piece out, and I think that's great. I like that a lot. Then they went downstairs and they talked with the PvP dudes, and now there's going to be new PvP quests. And the message that I got, and I love this as somebody who really hangs his hat on the Crucible, is that all the new quests and stuff will be Nightfall tier rewards. So you'll get a weekly set of 5 quests you complete. If you can complete all 5, you get a Nightfall tier drop or a potential chance at exotic. So for those of us who'd like to kind of level up through the Crucible, there's definitely a viable option for doing that. There'll be new ghosts that unlock, and they talked about ghosts previously. Ghosts will now actually have perks with them as well. There's also PvP specific ghosts, so that killing a certain character will give you more glimmer, or you'll take a reduced damage against Titan specials or whatever. So again, PvP is getting a significant overhaul. I like that a lot. There's a lot of new quests that I saw. They just scanned across. Some of them were kill 8 people while you own 2 zones, or kill 20 people with special weapons, that sort of thing. I like that. I think that's great, and I will definitely be investing a lot more into the Crucible gameplay, especially with this, and I think that's awesome. They're getting rid of Vanguard marks. They're getting rid of Crucible marks. This happens all the time in every MMO I've ever played, where the currency is consistently and continuously overhauled. The new hot currency is going to be called a legendary mark. That is now account-wide, which is something that's really, really cool. There's no weekly cap to earn, which is something that I'm very pleased with. In the past, Right now, if you go into either the Vanguard or in the Crucible, you'll see that the little meter fills up, and once it hits 100 or 100% or 100 marks for the week, you can't earn any more, so there's really no incentive to play anymore. They're getting rid of that, so no longer will you have a weekly earning cap. You'll have an overall cap in your wallet size. It's going to be 200 marks. But if you burn them all and you want to just keep playing and slowly earn stuff up again, they're not going to punish you now for that. And I think that was a stupid restriction they had in the past, and that was something that I was very... it was very odd to me when I first saw that, but that is now going away. So I'm very, very happy for that. Lastly, they spent most of their time on these blueprint vaults. I mentioned that you're going to have a vault for your different pieces of gear and everything. Anytime you've ever earned a piece of gear ever, apparently it's been flagged on the server. And it will now be available for you in the blueprint vault. So if you're like, you know what, I disenchanted this gun a long time ago, I want to give it a second shot, you can now rebuy it. It costs legendary marks. It's not free. It costs you legendary marks to recreate it. They were making the joke, but I think it's a good equation of the like replicator in Star Trek. Like if you want to get a new gun, you just kind of like rebuild it and off you have it. All your exotics will be account bound, so if you want to make a clone of something on another character, you could rebuy it with those legendary marks and keep it for yourself. Certain guns have year 2 upgrades with them, so you'll be able to, for example, one of the first legendaries I ever earned, actually the first legendary I ever learned was called Super Good Advice. It was a heavy machine gun, and I thought it sucked. I did not like it. I did not want to play with it, and I kept it around for a while because I didn't know what to do with it. And I was like, I don't really like this exotic, and I dumped it. Well, my understanding is if I want Super Good Advice again, I could go in here and rebuy it and own it. Certain guns can be like leveled up to the next level of the year 2 upgrade, and they'll have their attack values increased and that sort of thing. So I think that's really, really cool. Again, the completionist in me is going to look at that and say, ooh, I never really got this gun, and I'll keep an eye out from it from Zur. I'm assuming he's going to make a return. They haven't mentioned that if he is or isn't. I'm sure he will. And a lot of it is RNG, but it's nice to have a list of, like, here's all the stuff that I have, and here's stuff that I don't have, and I'm going to go find that stuff, or I'm going to keep an eye out for it, or whatever. I think that's a really cool idea. The Cryptarch's been overhauled. You can now gamble for legendary level pieces of gear, which is great because right now the Cryptarch's really just sucked. And the Gunsmith is actually going to have a reputation meter now as well. He's going to be giving you quests. He's going to give you these like basic freebie guns to go out and try to see if there's a certain gun you like. Seems like kind of stupid functionality to me. However, there are certain quests where he's going to give you that you have to go use his like trial gun, not your really cool tricked out gun. You have to use a trial gun to do something. That's the only thing I think that may miss the mark, unless I didn't understand the concept behind that. But from what I gathered, it was like, hey, I'm going to give you a quest. Go kill 100 enemies with this specific gun that I give you. And the gun looks like crap. It's gray. It's not really that much fun. I'm not going to get to use my really cool tricked out like Hawk Moon. I have to use like his crap pistol. And if that's the way it is, okay, I'll do it. I'll play the game. But I hope that that doesn't get implemented if that is what's really happening, because I want to use my stuff. Lastly, you can now take certain material, certain guns, and infuse them to make your other guns stronger. This is how you will continue to upgrade your legendaries that you find in year 2 to make them, I guess, at exotic level, which is okay. It's an interesting idea. It's really no different than anything we've been doing before. Now, instead of harvesting your gun for materials and then using materials to earn experience to upgrade a gun, you're harvesting the gun and immediately getting an immediate reward on the gun that you want to upgrade. So if your gun's like damage 100 and you have another gun that's damage 100, you don't want this one goes away, and this one suddenly goes to 110. So it's kind of a shortcut. It's a little easier than dismantling this gun and getting the platinum core, weapon core, or whatever the hell the materials were. Playing with this gun, earning up to the next level, then upgrading it to the next piece. It's just instant now. I don't really care one way or another. It's obviously more convenient for me as a player, so that's kind of cool, but other than that, the system's pretty much the same. You're going to be harvesting old pieces for new pieces. There's probably more stuff I missed, but as an overall, I think this is great. I think they're doing the right thing. I think they're taking advantage of a lot of history that we all have with the game. All the cool things that we've earned, all the cool things we've done, putting them in lists, showing us where the gaps are in our list for us to go back and get things. I think inventory management's getting a significant overhaul. The vault space is being increased. it's going to be easier to really customize your character and see what pieces of gear and armor you want, and you'll definitely have a much better sense of like your loadout and your current collection that you didn't have before, because right now it's just hodgepodge in your vault. It's very hard to organize, very hard to sort through what you have, what you want. This is where it would be nice if you could specifically select a piece and move it where you want it in the vault, where it sat. But this is their solution to it, obviously, without having that dynamic inventory system like World of Warcraft, where you could have a bank that say, this is going to be my bank of... This is going to be my bag of just guns, and this is going to be my bag of just gems, and this is just flowers, whatever. This is their solution to that. It's going to be compartmentalized in the tower in all these bite-sized chunks. Here's my emblems, here's my shaders, here's my ships, here's my guns, whatever. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. And I think that's great. I think they did a really good job on this, and I'm very, very excited for it. I'm still not going to play till the expansion comes out. I'm just going to wait for it. There's really, not say no point, but kind of in a status quo. We're kind of just waiting now. It's only a couple weeks away. Actually, it's a little less than a month now, about three and a half weeks. So I'll chip away at some of my other games until then, but I'll be ready for it day one. I'm very, very excited, and this video did nothing but excite the base, I should say. If you weren't into Destiny, I don't know if anything came out that made you suddenly get into Destiny, but there it is, and that's my take on it. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please do me a favor. Comment, rate, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about the cool or not so cool features that were discussed in today's live stream. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description box below. Don't take my word for it. It ran about 55 minutes, which is a pretty good length of time, and there was a lot of cool little Easter eggs that people are picking up. Apparently swords are now a weapon in the game, so they didn't talk about it, but people are data mining, of course, so there's stuff to be found everywhere. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Until next time, Guardians, I will see you guys on the other side.